Good morning and welcome to Daily Journal Newsbreak for Monday, May 21st. I'm your host, Chris Kiefer, and we're going to talk about the top news and sports stories from Northeast Mississippi. But first, let's start with your weather forecast. Today we've got a chance of rain with a high of 87 and a low of 67, looking ahead at your 3-day outlook. Tuesday, partly cloudy with a high of 90 and a low of 69. Wednesday, there's a 40% chance of rain. The high is 90 and the low is 68. And for Thursday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 92 and a low of 69. Let's take a look now at today's top headlines of the Newsbreak program sponsored by Renaissance Bank. The latest proposal for a public transportation program in Tupelo is expected to get support from the City Council. The 7-member Tupelo City Council will likely hold a work session soon to discuss a plan prepared by Northeast Mississippi Community Services and Mayor Jason Shelton's administration. The 12-month pilot program will cost $190,000. It would operate 5 days a week with 3 different routes in service throughout the day. The city of Tupelo would provide nearly half the needed funding, with the rest coming through the Mississippi Department of Transportation. A final vote on the issue is not anticipated this week. However, the proposal appears to have support from at least 4 council members. Those include Travis Beard, Nettie Davis, Buddy Palmer, and Willie Jennings. The timing of a final vote on the program remains uncertain. Nearly 2 years after it was announced, there has been little visible progress on a grant-funded project to upgrade railroad crossings in the downtown Tupelo vicinity. The Mississippi Department of Transportation announced in June of 2016 a grant award of about $850,000. It would go toward a proposal by Tupelo to enhance safety features and pedestrian crossings at 2 rail crossings. Those include Clark Street and South Spring Street. At one time, officials hoped to have bids opened for the project by August of 2017. Tupelo Development Services Director Shane Hooper said the project has been slowed by regulatory oversight. Specifically, Hooper said the project involves work near an older building. It requires a determination on whether the proposed project would compromise the historic value of any structures. Hooper wasn't certain about what the future timeline of the project would be. He did indicate he is seeking a way to begin ancillary work related to the project later this year. The MDOT grant represents 80% of the total project cost. The city must supply the other 20%. Planned upgrades include crossing arms, flashing lights, and some sidewalks. The project would help the city's efforts to gain quiet zone status. That would allow it to waive federal regulations that dictate when and for how long trains must sound a warning blast upon approaching a crossing with the road. Businesses and community leaders will gather this week to receive an update on the progress and opportunities ahead for Northeast Mississippi. The Create Foundation will host its 22nd annual State of the Region meeting on Thursday. It will include 2 speakers and a regional profile and goal report. Thomasville, Alabama Mayor Sheldon Day will be the guest speaker at the event. Day will discuss economic development in small communities. He will draw from his experience working toward job creation in manufacturing and service sectors, revitalizing a downtown area, and bringing a major health organization to Thomasville. James McHale, president and CEO of Woodward Hines Education Foundation and the Mississippi Higher Education Assistance Corporation, will discuss his work developing post-secondary education initiatives to include educational attainment and proficiency. The free public meeting will be hosted at the Bancorp South Conference Center from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Thursday, with registration beginning at 8:30. And in sports, the Ole Miss and Mississippi State baseball teams both head into this week's Southeastern Conference tournament with the momentum from weekend series victories. Mississippi State swept top-ranked Florida in Starkville this weekend. The series concluded with a 13-6 win on Saturday and likely locks down a spot in the NCAA tournament. It was the first time the number 1 ranked team has been swept since April of 2016, and the first time MSU has swept the Gators since 1989. Mississippi State also improved to 9-1 this season against top 5 ranked teams. The Bulldogs finished the regular season in a 3-way tie for 3rd in the SEC West. They earned the number 9 seed in the SEC tournament. MSU will take on 8 seed LSU on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. in Hoover, Alabama. Meanwhile, Ole Miss won 2 of its 3 games at Alabama. The Rebels clinched the series with a 10-8 win on Saturday. Sophomore Cole Zabowski went 4 for 5 with 6 RBIs in the win. The Rebels set a school record with 42 regular season victories. They also won a share of the SEC Western Division Championship and earned a number 2 seed in the SEC tournament. The series victory could also help them secure a national seed in the NCAA tournament. Ole Miss opens the SEC tournament on Wednesday against either Auburn or Kentucky. And that does it for Newsbreak on this Monday. Don't forget that this show is just one of the many online offerings courtesy of the Daily Journal that gets you news off the page and on the go. Each story discussed today on Newsbreak can be found in your Daily Journal or online at thejournal.com, or you can also find a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday morning. Special thanks to Renaissance Bank for sponsoring Newsbreak each day. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Kiefer. Have a great Monday.